I think that's the problem. We all pushing this narrative that like these human emotions not a real thing, and they are. And if we could like hear that more, say, man, I was scared in that situation.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got around this woman and did not know what to do. She froze me up.
Yeah.
Right? And your friends can be honest and say, me too.
Welcome to Mental Shampoo with your host, Kimar Cain. Join me as we explore life's big questions, the unique perspectives of intriguing creators and artists. You're ready to unravel the art of living right here on Mental Shampoo. Yo, what's happening, man? It's Kimar Cain coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. And you're tapped in with Mental Shampoo Season 3. Y'all been rocking with your boy for quite some time now. I've had shows year after year and year after year, but Mental Shampoo, we in Season 3 of this one. Season 2 was about brother helping brothers, but Season 3, I wanted to do something special. I wanted to talk with artists and their art. And on today, we got Jackson, Mississippi's very own Coke Bumaye. Coke.
What's happening with it, my brother?
Do, man? You good?
Oh, I'm amazing. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking some time out to talk with your boy today, man.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, indeed, man. Coke Bumaye, tell us, for the people that may not know, who Coke is, man, what is something that you would share with them?
I think, man, I think as an artist, I think you spend a lot of time explaining who you are through the art.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you truly want to know an artist, you just got to tap into the art. I don't think you can explain yourself as a person in real life. I think that's a construct we just do to make everybody comfortable.
So the explaining is the doing, you would say.
Yeah, I think you're going to feel, I don't think 10 people feel the same about one person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We all digest each other differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So some people may think you don't do enough. Some people may think you do too much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just up to them. Tap in.
So what would Coke say about himself, though? How would you describe yourself?
Oh, yeah, I do too much.
Yeah.
I'm going to the max. Fuck it. I'm out here. I'm out here. In the right way, though. I'm not reckless.
For sure.
But I think just pushing the narrative of man, I think we here to empty ourselves in that way. We not here to chill.
Mm-hmm.
Man, get up every morning and push your narrative. Press your line every morning. I'm pressing my line every morning. I'm gonna say something outrageous every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of pushing the narrative, what is Coke's narrative? I know we kind of spoke offline about just the start of the week. You know what I mean? Sundays are the times where you wind down and prepare for the Monday. You're excited about your Monday. You know what I mean? What is Coke's narrative and what is Coke's routine weekly? What does that look like for you to push your narrative?
I think the narrative changes for sure. Depending on the week and depending on the goal. We had in the grand scheme of things, we want to be the healthiest mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we can attack them bottom lines, the rest of this shit down here. If we can make sure, from a mental space we sharp, from a health space we sharp, and from a spiritual space we sharp, the rest of this shit really don't be nothing after that.
I agree.
Can cuss on her again.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, be yourself.
Right.
So when it comes to the mental aspect of things, what helps you in that regard? When it comes to the spiritual aspect, what helps you in that regard? So on and so forth.
I think it's just about your diet, in all those aspects. What you consuming, what you taking in on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we had this holiday mentality where we just either gonna do something good for ourselves on your birthday or your on Christmas or whatever. You only get them days, so many of them in your life. So you gonna get, if you look at 80 Christmases.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in between that, you gonna get a plethora of days to really attack. So man, I think making sure we stepping up every day, being sharp and digesting, the healthiest information we can digest, spiritually making sure you just sound with yourself, really tap into yourself and how you feel, what's real to you. And being from certain areas, certain neighborhoods, and having certain upbringings, it take us a little while longer to like get in touch with our human side. So like once you get there, man, embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How long did it take you to actually like embrace your human side? Like what age is this? Or when did you get that realization to be like, let me embrace, be vulnerable or surrender or express these feelings?
I don't think it don't happen at once. Like you go to like peeling back these layers about different like sometimes, man, we always say like, the book don't change. The
Yeah.
reader do. You
For
feel
real.
me?
Yeah.
So like what happens is, man, you go to reading the book again, seeing the movie again, listening to the music again.
Thanks.
And, people that you thought were like heroes, them niggas look lame
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so certain artists don't really change or fall off. They stay the same and you grow past them and now you look at them a certain way. It's not like a one age as I only become more of myself. I'm starting to realize that now. When I was like in 19th grade or like 8th grade or whatever, I had these ideas, but maybe was afraid to express those ideas. As I got older, I had the nuts to like really go after this shit in that way where like losing wasn't the end of the world. That was the start of, you feel what I'm saying? So like being human in that way, just to feel.
Yeah.
Right? That's just a part of it, just to feel it, right, is a blessing. And then learning to express those feelings is another level of it too. So man, just over time it just started to unfold in a way where I started to embrace it.
Okay. So Erykah Badu got the famous saying, she's an artist and she's sensitive about her shit.
Sure.
Right?
Straight up.
So when did Coke get into the rap game? What made you say, I want to start rapping, or I want to start telling my side of things or sharing my narrative, for lack of better words?
I always was attracted to it, attracted to being a part of it as a consumer per se. You know what I'm saying? Just because some of the narratives in the music it fitted like where I was at. As I got older, like I was saying, like those narratives didn't fit like the people I was around and what we was doing, like to a T. Like it had like certain subject matters and shit that we was like, oh, I understand that. I know what they look like. I know what they feel like. But it wasn't like down to the like this us.
Yeah.
Right. And it was situations that happened that I feel like needed that soundtrack. And I feel like nobody was above. Like nobody could like deliver it but me. Like right in a true way. And it started out like that. Like, man, just delivering that soundtrack for me and my friends' lives.
Yeah.
Honestly, that shit's still the same way. Like, if the people that's in this shit with me, like, say, man, hey, that's honest. Not even if the shit jam, not even if it feels amazing. Like, this shit is honest. Got it.
Honesty is the name of the game.
Sure.
The greatest policy. Do you remember your first rap?
No, because I was stealing raps. Like at first, like straight up, like
That's
I was
some real shit to say.
Yeah. Like I was always and I'm still like at heart I think every artist is a consumer of the art first.
For sure.
Right? And that's your guide to create the art, to produce it, is like knowing that you're a consumer at heart and you know what satisfies the true consumer, right? Because I always was a top level consumer of the art, I knew I was getting this shit first. I was hungry for it. I'm at the bebop. I'm in it. So I was getting the records and the tapes and shit niggas wasn't getting, the CDs and shit niggas wasn't getting. So I get that shit memorized, go back to school and rap that shit and niggas be amazed. But that's what attracted me to it. Like
so,
seeing just how they was responding to like this power. It was like power. Like, man, you can go and like captivate an audience with words. I was like, damn, like, I had got a tape. I used to get like, and it was a science to stealing these raps too though. Now you can't just steal what's number one on the countdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta like dig in the like little dollar box they used to have at Bebop and just find them gems though.
For
You
sure.
feel me? And know like, oh, they missing out on dog. They don't know about him.
Mm-hmm.
Take his rap, bring it back to school and
Introduce it
deliver.
to him.
Oh man. After I started doing it, then I wanted to like create for myself.
Yeah.
Like really create for myself. But that took a while to get comfortable enough to like do that. It's easy to read somebody else's diary in front of class. It's hard to read yours. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So like when I started to like really tap into like being honest, that was hard for me to like say these things in front of people.
Why is it so hard to be honest, you think, though?
Cause nobody doing it. You know, it's a lot of shit that we do that's so taboo. But like if everybody like be honest, man, that'll save a lot of shit. Everybody lying to the point where like you think some shit ain't normal.
Yeah.
You think you not normal.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So like we done been on the crazy shit, doing the crazy shit, and everybody acting like they not scared. So it's forcing you to not be the scared one. You know what I'm saying? And you end up really going to that level because you trying to like
impress.
When one person could have said, nigga, hey,
it's like this.
Let's not do this shit. I'm spooked. You know, so like I think that's important, man. Like we all are trying to push this unhuman narrative. And especially when you come from certain circumstances, we are taught to be unhuman. Don't love nothing, don't care about nothing. Jump out there with the biggest nuts and the smallest heart. You feel me? And that's like not really human. You feel what I'm saying? So like, you know, to like get to a point where you say, I feel something is like, nah, nigga, don't feel nothing. Like you need to be numb and ready to run through a wall. You need to be fucking all the bitches, ready to kill, don't care about nothing. And if you ain't like that, then you not human.
Yeah.
You feel me? To say, hey, I like a woman and I think she's special.
Yeah.
Nigga, what? You feel me? To say, hey, man, I don't think we should kill nothing, man. I think, like, we should not shoot a house up. I think we should chill.
So,
nigga, you scared. Like, we all scared. You feel me? So, like, I think that's the problem. We all pushing this narrative that, like, these human emotions not a real thing. And they are. And if we could, like, hear that more, say, man, I was scared in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, man, I got around this woman and did not know what to do. She froze me up.
Yeah.
Right? And your friends can be honest and say, me too.
Facts.
They calm you down where you say, man,
I was the only one.
But when you say that and your partner, like, nigga, you scared. Like, what? You go to feeling like, okay.
Yeah.
I need to push. I need to be more. And it's like, bro, you already enough. You know what I'm saying? So.
You already enough. Man, you said a mouthful just then, though. Because, like, the black male experience, man, is something different, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You just explained, even in that little stint, like, the black male experience. Yeah. Like, now they had no feelings toward anything whatsoever. I remember growing up, my pops told me, God rest his soul, I was like, had to be about 12. He said, man, never tell a woman you love her unless you know you about to get her draws. I was like, damn. I said, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's the programming that we receive as young, and we keep that up into our adulthood. In a lot of ways, you know, in our adulthood, we just big-ass kids. You know what I mean? We really try to live out a lot of our childhood, even in all of our adult years, although we're an adult much longer than we're a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, you know, and being able to express and be vulnerable in that way, you know, even when me talking to other brothers, you know, they say, oh, man, I like when you talk about this, that, and third, because I've dealt with the same things. Like, if we do talk more, I think we can heal a lot of brothers out here.
Yeah, because, like, man, you going through these experiences and you think you're alone. So when you go to feeling like that, you feel like, man, I don't want to talk about this shit because it's like these,
facts,
you know, wild shit like this and wild. And it's like, bro, it's not. Like, it's wild that you think this wild shit. So, like, man, like you saying, like, man, most of our, especially the black male experience, most of our experiences are so out of this fucking world.
Intertwined though.
Yeah, like, man, because it's like, man, you can't be one of the other thing. Like, you can't be like smart. Right? You can be, but I'm saying
it's not cool to be smart.
It's not cool, like, right? Yeah. It's not cool to like really have your own opinion. Like, really think for yourself, really push a narrative. So even when we was talking about being human, like getting to that space where you can feel like real emotions, like even having those experiences where people that you looked up to, love, they was like supposed to be guiding you. They was giving you the information that they had, but the information so fucked up and terrible. It take you some time to undo that. Like if your dad telling you, hey man, like, hey, when you tell a girl you love her, that's to have sex.
Yeah.
You feel me? Your mom, niggas' experience with women is like they mom telling them, hey, these bitches ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like they gonna hurt you, like, you feel me? Like, so like, you never get, most black men don't have the experience where a man put their arm around you and say, hey man, this how you love a woman.
Yeah.
This how you take care of her. This is how you identify a good woman. We only have crash courses on how to identify shitty women.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if she doing this, she ain't shit. This how you take advantage of her, and this how you run her down through there.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody put their hands around us. And sometimes not even our moms. Our moms can't tell you how to treat a woman because they ain't been treated right.
That's
like,
a fact.
you see what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of navigating in that space, and we not having these conversations enough to lend that level of grace to each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just feel like, oh, it ain't my job to raise no man. And we feeling like, man, these bitches out of control. We ain't trying to, like, you feel me? So it's like, it is our job to raise each other.
Yeah.
It's our job.
I believe every man needs some mothering.
For sure.
And I believe every woman needs some fathering.
To the max.
To the max.
Like, even if you had a mother or had a father.
Big facts.
Your father or mother did not do everything the right way.
There we go.
No matter who. Me as a father saying that, know that, right? So part of the teaching should be leaving understanding for man. It's more to learn constantly all the time, right? So like, I think, like, man, like you saying, man, women need some fathering and men need some mothering. Like we do though, we use that as a tool.
Yeah.
Man, you a mama boy. Like, man, you got daddy issues. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if a woman wanna like get some information from you, she's scared because she feel like you gonna feel like she supposed to have this information already.
Yeah.
So it's no room to like
grow.
That's crazy.
So what was your relationship like with your parents? Like, what did that look like for you growing up? And what would you say that you wish you got more from your mother and your father? What did that look like? And how is that showing up in your artistry?
Honestly, man, I think to extend my parents' full grace is I think they gave me all they could and did what they could do with what they had, like in a space where I don't think they was withholding no information. They weren't saying, oh, I know how to make your life better, or I know how to treat you or whatever, and saying, fuck it, I'm just not gonna do it for you. Whatever tool they had, they used it. They used whatever tool they had. And I may have not agreed with those tools because, you know, the world was changing. The world is changing now. Some of the tools that I may use with my children, they may not agree with them, but my stance is a little bit more open to understand it. And I don't think I would have got that understanding if my parents didn't have the understanding. They lack of understanding pushed me to have it, right? So I don't know, man. I don't really feel like they should have gave me no more than they gave me. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we always, this with any relationship, I think it could have been better for sure.
For sure.
I think I could have had a little bit more understanding. Just really having, that's what I really wish I would have had, grace, more grace for them at a younger age. You know what I'm saying? That's probably hard to have, but I wish I would have had it for them. Like, I wish I would have seen them as human beings. But I seen them as a mom. You supposed to get everything right.
Yeah.
a dad, you supposed to know everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And when you didn't know it, I gave you a strike. When you couldn't help me in spaces, I gave you a strike. I didn't say, man, you know what, if they could help me, they would. I appreciate them just for being here. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I wish. I wish I could have gave them a little bit more grace in them.
Man, I resonate with that so well. I resented my mom. Shout out to my mom, man.
Sure. Shout out to all the moms.
You did. I know my mother asked me a little while ago, just random as hell too. Did I think that she did a good job at being a mom?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like that's random, but I say, yeah. I said overall you did a good job, and I shared with her things, basically what you just said. I do wish that you would have done this more, that I was taught this and this, that, and the third. But it's like I think I concluded it more so like, you know, I'm grown now,
All right.
so everything now is really on me, you know. But again, living out that, I know for me, and maybe you dealt with this too, I still sometimes in certain situations see myself as a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's still me trying to fight off certain things that I've witnessed as a kid and grow more into the adult side, the more manhood of Kimar versus the childhood Kimar.
Right.
You know, and my father, you know, seen him here and there, wasn't completely absent, but it wasn't there either, if that makes sense. But even with that, resenting him too, because I didn't get what I wanted from that. And then some regrets came with that, right? Because I wanted to play sports in school. My algebra teacher was the head football coach. He wanted me to come try out for quarterback. My health teacher was the head basketball coach. He wanted me to come be a shooting guard or a point guard.
All right.
Right? But I'm looking at these students, these guys who got their pops coming up to the games.
Yeah.
You know, my pops didn't show up in certain ways. Yeah. So it's like, man, I'm not going to play because I know my mama will show up, but my pops, he ain't going to show up.
This is space.
It's his space.
All right.
So, and, you know, street ball and all that is cool, but like organized sports and having a support system in that way from your pops, it hit different. You know what I'm saying? And I can say he different because of what I viewed with other pops and their sons. So, but it's like, man, you know, how I've learned over the years, and I'm 33 now, but over the years I've learned to, again, go back to what you're saying. They went with what they knew. They gave me what they knew. And it's my job to kind of bottle it up, tweak it, make it my own. And I have a little girl now. It's like, what can I show her? And what do I not need to show her? And how can I be more of what she need, but not cripple her or enable her? You know what I'm saying? So to the music though, because again, that resonated and I related with that very well. Your music is very relatable, bro.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And I really appreciate, I can tell that you take your time with your music. You know, you're a storyteller, man.
Thank you.
It's like, how did you even learn how to tell stories in the way that you tell stories?
Oh man, that's crazy that you was talking about having like that 10-year-old kid inside of you, man. That is a guiding light for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cause you know, like you gotta be that 10-year-old kid, like hero, like in a real way though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, even like with the music is just about being as thorough with the story as possible, right? In a way where even if it puts you in the mix, like if it puts you in the mix where like you're not seen as this incredible character, right? With incredible character. It's worth it because like what it does to like somebody to hear, like we were saying, man, when you say something that like people connect to, right? That's important in stories because when you do that, it allows the listener to feel.
Yeah.
See, like feel, and then they can kind of understand what they feel, right?
Yeah.
So we was talking earlier, like I was watching The Color Purple for the first time. Now, I'm not no woman, ain't no nigga slapping me around, none of that type of shit, right? But this shit, I feel it though, right? Because this may not be per se my story,
Yeah.
but it's somebody's story, and it's so authentic to like behavior you may have seen before, these type of things you've seen before. It connects. The story has to be told in truth because that's the only way people heal, right? With the story being told in truth, it could be ugly, like it could be an ugly truth, but that ugly truth lends to people having a beautiful grace.
Yeah.
Right. So if you see you look at a story like Color Purple. I'm sorry, people who done seen it before, but I'm just seeing this shit, right? You look at a story like Color Purple and you see how those women was treated, how kids get passed around, all type of shit, right?
Yeah.
Them our grannies though. Them our great grandma. So it go from great grandma to granny to your mama to right. So that we not so far removed from it, like to a point where, oh man, if your mama was kicking your ass, right, you gotta know your granny was kicking her ass, and your mama probably light on your ass than your granny was on her, right?
Yep.
And she felt like that was enough.
Yeah.
Man, if my grandma kicked my ass and her husband was kicking her ass, she just want to get in a relationship where the man ain't beating her ass, right? So, that's how it is with our parents, right? So it's just about telling the story as truthfully as possible because it allows people to see themselves and lend grace in spaces. So now when you hear a story about something else, because when you in the story, sometimes you don't have no grace. You don't got no grace for your mom or your dad or nothing when you in the house, right? But when you remove from it and somebody tell you about how they dad doing some way wilder shit, right? So when you don't have a dad around and you're like, man, if my dad was here, my life would be different. Because that's what happens when you're a kid and your dad ain't in the spaces. You think, man, if my dad were here, nigga, I'd be Jordan. You feel me? And it probably wouldn't have been. Your dad would probably been terrible. Not you, but I'm just saying, your dad probably been terrible in that space because he got anxiety. Who knows, right? So like, it allows you to have that grace for people, for humans, for that. So it's important for storytellers of all types to be honest and authentic. Because when you be honest and authentic, it lends to people being able to say, to sit in their car, to sit in a movie theater, to sit anywhere, to listen to this podcast and say, wait a minute. And I wanted my dad in my practices, and that deterred me from playing. It connects on the level to where it says, I'm human. And that's all a good story does.
Yeah.
Is make a person feel human.
Why do you think it takes hurt to make a good story?
It don't. It takes, but hurt is so devastating that it has to be true for you to feel like that. Like, it's a certain level of hurt that we can connect with because, man, you had to been there to feel it. You cannot describe this if you ain't never been there.
Yeah.
It's certain feelings, certain things that you got to be in it to know what they feel like. And if you in it to describe it like that, you got to mean it with you, fuck it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not that hurt. It's some great stories of love and triumph and these type of things, but those can be duplicated in a way, right? We know what the end of the story feel like.
It's predictable.
Right? It's predictable because like at the end of it, like we all want to feel safe.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But to tell a story why you want to feel safe in intricate detail, you had to been in it. So I think hurt is more relatable because everybody is experiencing hurt, no matter what level you on. Everybody is not necessarily experiencing joy or can't recognize the joy. People can recognize hurt, right? So it's not that the story has to be about hurt. It's just more recognizable.
I like what you said just then about, you said everybody wants to be safe.
Oh,
okay. But, people want to know why you want to feel safe.
Yeah.
That's powerful though, because we all experience very similar things. We all experience some of the same emotions, but different levels, different times of one's life can bring about different reasons as to why, again, one wants to feel safe.
Yeah.
What's the hardest song you had to write? What's the song that has you in tears after you finish writing or recording?
I don't know, like, because I'm not a traditional writer in that way. It'd be like the next day when I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't put that out. Like it be like that. Like sometimes songs can get so personal, right? Where they hurt other people, and I try not to put them type of records out. Like if it's gonna like lean, if you're gonna push somebody else in a way, push some buttons on somebody else in a way. And it's true though, man. But sometimes you don't want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it happened to you. Like I try not to be and it's not the part about it's not as therapeutic just to put it out. It's therapeutic to do it. Right. So like putting it out to the world is the extra. But doing it is enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So just sometimes, man, those songs, you gotta kind of keep them in the tuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like sometimes they put people in, and you telling the truth, but everybody don't want to hear the truth about themselves. And they don't want the world to hear it, because when the world hear, like your family can know, who your people is, but like when you get to saying it to the world, people think like they 2,000 Facebook followers is the world. If your 2,000 Facebook followers know, you feel like, so most of them songs I ain't gonna really put out. Like it's a line I try not to cross.
So you felt better though after you did it though, even though you're not releasing it, because it's like why should one be considerate about the other person that may be involved if they're the reason why maybe XYZ happened, when it could be healing for the producer?
Yeah, man, because it's still always about that grace though, right? And I'm gonna need some grace. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need somebody to say, I ain't gonna do that to dog. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be the same situation, but like that's not how energy returns. You know what I'm saying? Energy is not in the mirror in a way where it's gonna look the same. Gonna feel the same though. You know what I'm saying?
That.
So, you might get away with some fuck shit, feel me? But the energy of it don't leave.
Wow. I didn't really think about it like that. It's like if I'm doing this, it's for the healing of me, not necessarily extending grace in that regard or extending an olive branch, even though boundaries may be set. But I want to be considerate of what you may feel in the process of me healing through this, that, and the third.
You know how you look at, like, you ever seen like a biopic, like a somebody's life, right? And you see some shit that somebody did in that film, and you like, man, let me see if this some real shit. Like, ain't no way this really happened to this person, right? And when you see that, it may make you feel a way about that person. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes, man, when you being honest in your craft, right? So, it's some things about your family, like, we'll talk on the surface of it, but you ain't gonna just out somebody just to like get that off, because they can interfere with their healing, right? We ain't gonna act like it didn't happen in real time when we really around. If it's me and you in here, you know what I'm saying? We gonna address it as men, and we gonna talk about it as men, you know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily got to give it to the world, because our healing is internal. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You got to deal with it on their level, right? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I don't see no purpose in me like giving it to the world, because it's certain shit you got to keep to yourself.
I agree with that.
If you can't find a creative way to
outlet.
say it,
Yeah.
to say it in a way where like, people don't feel, but sometimes, man, when you creating at that level, this shit can get nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're opening up different portals of yourself.
Yeah, you've been to forget. You've been to forget, like, you know.
And you know what, bro? That's okay. Because one of my favorite rappers, Common, he talked about being able to forget something. And I've heard other people talk about forgetting things that have happened to them or done to them. And maybe something happened that it made it click in their mind, like, oh, this did happen to me.
Ooh.
I honestly thought that was some BS. You know what I mean? But I'm realizing that that's a real thing. Some people will tuck away something so bad that probably messed them up. And if something comes across, it may trigger that thought like, oh, why am I thinking, oh, this did happen?
Sure.
I didn't know that was a thing for real until probably like 2 years ago. I thought people was bullshitting.
Yeah, man, people will rip the pages out of book, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to like get over it. But you
Yeah.
never really get over it like that. You know what I'm saying?
A little
Sometimes,
void.
you know, and what happens sometimes though, the whole page ain't bad. It's a paragraph. And you get rid of that whole page. Like, so man, sometimes you scratch out some shit and it's some real beautiful shit that happened to you in that moment too, but you gotta let that go too. And sometimes, man, when you uh listening to art, looking at art, it take you to that where you like, whoa, down to the detail. You know what I'm saying? To the detail of it. And it could be the smallest things. So even when you create, man, and you emptying yourself as a creator, that's what happens to you. Like you will get to like telling these stories or like really navigating through these spaces and voila, you go that shit you thought you
You
forgot,
go that shit.
right? And I think sometimes what happens is though, man, you double back to it because now you can kind of deal with it. Like grief is a funny thing where you gotta like surrender to it, like dive in it. Like sometimes we try to like push it to the side and man, let me handle this. Let me self-medicate, let me numb myself. And it's like, nah, my nigga, you need to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't all right. Feel it. Like dive in it. Hurt, cry, scream, holler, whatever you need to do, like you need to do that and empty yourself in that space and then come out a different person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When is the last time you had like a good cry, bro?
Nigga watching The Color Purple. I'm telling you, that shit blew me away. Like in a way, but that's what I'm saying. You connect to that on levels.
Yeah.
So many levels to that. Cause you seeing your granny and these black women, your great granny, your mama, like you seeing like that thing that's, you know, passed down. That shit is passed down generation after generation. You know, that level of hurt. That is not no far-fetched story like grandmas was getting married at 13.
That crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Having buku kids. And it's no way she can go through that and like love them kids on the level they need to be loved. Man. So then the next generation feel like if I can just love my kids a little better, right? And it don't be enough. So, you know, you get tricked like that based off what you didn't have. So like if you come up in a household where your father never showed up, right? You will get complacent with just being in the household. You're not being a full father. You're just there.
Yeah.
And you're filling the void that you wish you would have had. You're not really doing the real work though. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes our parents is like that. Okay, if my mama used to beat the shit out of me, scream at me and holler at me and then starve me. Okay, as long as I feed my kids. I'm killing them. I'm the one. I'm the best mom ever because I'm feeding my kids. I come from a house where we didn't eat, right? But that's not the full. You're not doing the shit in full. You're only plugging up the hole that you had. And when you're doing it, you're creating another hole. So, you know, just trying to avoid that. Like, so you had them cries because you see that. You see where like, okay. Just think about if your dad come from dads who was like them niggas on Color Purple, right? And instead of you thinking like, man, it's just a shit ass nigga, man. He just come from generations of terrible ass niggas. The best thing he could do is not pour this terrible shit on you.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It just make you just look at shit in that type of way. So yeah, man. I cried like a motherfucker on Color Purple looking at them women and shit and just seeing my mama and my grandma. And
that's
you
gonna
know,
be my next question. Like, but seeing that and having that feeling, that emotion and expressing that, does it help you to maybe shift perspective or change perspective on how you see women in general?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like if you are a man and you start to experience women on a different level, like not women not just you sexual with them, just women you love. Like I just love this woman and want to make sure she okay. You know what I'm saying? As you get to develop that type of emotion, man, you gonna start to have to like really stand on some shit that you did.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fix that shit too. Like you need to go back and fix it. She ain't forgot. You need to know that. Like anybody who listening, she ain't forgot. Tap in with her and let her know, hey man, I was young and out of control, or I was I didn't know or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna help heal you. You feel me? As you move forward. So like, yeah, man, watching it, seeing women had it, and seeing men, if you come from that lineage, right, and she come from it, right, it's easy for men to be forceful and to feel like a woman owe them a certain thing or owe them a certain level of respect without not doing nothing. It's easy for women to feel like if I don't give him this level of respect, I will get punished for it, right? You could be walking in it, right, but just walking soft. It don't mean you ain't walking in it though. You know what I'm saying? So like, it should make you check yourself, and if you can start doing it, being accountable, you know, it'll grow you in the ways to where like now you looking at women not as like, oh, you own them, you know, but like, man, you owe them.
Man, speaking of going back to the parenting piece a little bit, if it's not too personal for you, the plug in piece, maybe what you didn't receive as young Coke, what are you giving your kids that you didn't receive, and how do you think you can be better on the fathering aspect to your children? Like, what does that look like for you?
I think it was a time where I was just plugging in though, right? And when you just plugging in, you kind of lost because you don't know. You thinking as long as I don't do what my parents did, right, I'm a good parent, right? And that's not a real thing, right? That adds to it, right? But that's not really a good thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I thought like, man, long as I came home, long as I showed up, you know what I'm saying, that'll be enough. Long as I like was there, like all the time, like, right? And being there and being present, two different things.
Totally different things.
You know what I'm saying? And what happens is, man, you start to have to like, and you know, listen, women will tell you this shit, but they will tell it to you in a way where you would be so defensive that you don't get it, right? You know what I'm saying? So when you come from certain environments, when you take your children out that environment, right, and when you are not per se of that environment anymore, a woman can still see that on you.
Yeah.
But because you so locked in on, I provide for my children, I'm here every day, you feel me? She telling you, yeah, you her man, but what size shoe he wear? You like, what that mean? I buy the shoe. And it's like, bro, this your kid. You should know what size shoe your kid wear.
So,
you know, what he eat in the morning? What's his favorite juice? What's his, right? You ain't really taking it in because you thinking about you as a kid and what you didn't have. And as long as you giving that kid what you didn't have, you think that's enough, right? I'm a better listener than my parents were, right? Okay. And I know how to evolve too, though. I think a lot of our generation of parents didn't evolve, right? Like, what I say goes. Like, this is it, right? And our parents use care and money as a tool of rulership. Like, you know what I'm saying? I rule this, right? Not because I love you, but because I put food on the table. I pay bills. I do these type of things, right? I don't use that against my children, like in that way. My children are here because I love them. I care for them. I want to grow with them. I am the head teacher, but I'm also the head student too, though, right? So I look to learn from them and these type of things. We didn't have that. I didn't have that growing up as a kid because they just wasn't what they was on. This is it, right? I'm open to my children making me adjust in a way and letting them see them adjustment. Hey, you know what you would, right? I should have been better right there. I should have listened to you right there. And I would trip. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't get those small apologies from our parents because our parents are insecure in a way where they feel like they have to be right or they lose the grip. That's not the grip I have. So I think my biggest adjustment is to not lead with fear, but to lead with love.
I like that, bro. I thought about the movie since we talking about films a little bit. Have you seen the film Fences?
Yes.
I thought about that scene when my boy was like, how come you don't like me?
It's a real thing though, like, oh, but also still lending that grace, man. A lot of our parents was not these new, like therapy give you language. You know what I'm saying? So the language what we had when you feel the emotion and you say, that's anxiety. Or I feel like, or you gaslight me, these therapy terms, right? Our parents didn't necessarily have it, or their parents didn't necessarily have it, right? So they didn't have the language to identify these emotions. These are not new emotions. Martin Luther King felt anxiety. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily where he can identify it. You just push through that emotion and keep it rolling, right? So imagine having to push through that emotion all your life, right? You get to the point where you feel like I don't have the luxury of liking, right? I'm working a job I don't want. Like it's a real thing where, man, in that generation from Fences, a man may have not a never bought a pair of shoes he wanted.
Yeah.
He only bought the shoes he needed. He probably never had a shirt that he really wanted. Like this, I want this shirt. You just get the shirt that you do. You know what I'm saying? So like just imagine it like somebody who is deprived of simple like luxury, right? Simple things that are like, man, you worthy of it, right? To get to having these children that are taken away from that even more. They resent you in a way, right? So like, seeing all it, man, like, and seeing how all this shit trickled down and trickled down is nuts.
It's crazy, bro. It's amazing what art can do. You know, from movies to music. Going back to music a little bit. You know, my favorite pair of shoes is because I heard a song from Run DMC called My Adidas. The shell toe that I got on right now.
For sure.
It's my favorite shoe of all time. You know what I mean? So it's like, even my first set of locks, I got them because of Lil Wayne. I got tattoos because I was in high school listening to Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like art reflects life and life reflects art. And so I want to know, with your music and your narrative and your personhood, you know, who are some of the artists, albums, and songs that have influenced you over the years?
Man, them hot boys had me in the chokehold.
Come on,
man.
bro.
Like, as I man, I evolved with music. Like I like evolved in that way. Like I became so like anything that was close to what I was in or on, right? So man, them hot boys had me in the chokehold. I really like BG. Like BG was like, man, It's All on You Volume 2 was just had me like crazy. But man, if I had to say like a album, and it's crazy, like an album that really like shook me up, was D'Angelo Voodoo.
Word, okay. Wasn't expecting that.
I was like, oh, D'Angelo Voodoo and like Jay-Z In My Lifetime Volume 3.
Okay.
I was fucking with them before that already, right? And I thought they was like at they max. You know what I'm saying? I thought they was at they max. Man, when they dropped them albums, especially for Jay-Z, because he had like Juvenile on there, MC and Bun B was on there, you know what I'm saying? These was guys that was closer to me, like in a way where like, man, of course, you know, we was UGK'd out and that type of A-Ball, MJG and them type of things, but I had a thirst for more like lyrical, like type of energy.
Yeah.
Jay-Z was like that for me. And when I heard that D'Angelo made me want to like be in love. Like, whatever this nigga talking about, I want that. Like I want to know how it feel for real. Like dog, this shit gotta be like, you know what I'm saying? So it was, of course, man, it was always other shit, but then was like standout albums that, man, even now when I try to like go back to center myself, I listen to them albums. I listen to BG's All on You Volume 2. I listen to Jay-Z, in my lifetime, Volume 3. I listened to that D'Angelo. Oh, I like the Roots too. Heavy, man.
Oh yeah.
When that Webby Savage Life had shook me up
Man,
too.
what? Well, I think I was like 10th grade when that shit came out.
And man, listen, when Jeezy came out.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, it was a different time.
So
man.
Jeezy or Gucci, bro? Talk to me.
Listen, in my neighborhood, we was not looking at Gucci, listening to no Gucci. You couldn't even turn the corner with no Gucci playing. We would Jeezy it out. Jeezy was the one. Gucci was like a different type of person than we would. And we was like, that ain't it. That's not how we live. You know what I'm saying? So that Jeezy was really most different. No Gucci. I probably ain't listened to 5 Gucci songs in my life.
Word.
No disrespect to dog, but I'm just talking about in my era.
Yeah.
We was not listening to no Gucci. Different.
Okay. Yeah, but that Jeezy and that Webby though, that Carter 1 came out around that time.
Man, that Wayne was that mixtape Wayne, like man, them Carters, all them Carters was
all
just,
the Carters.
And you know, Lil Wayne is like hip, like rap, street rap, Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Because you got an opportunity to see him, Jackson 5 Wayne, Off the Wall Wayne, and you seen him go Thriller Wayne, where he just like at his
I wouldn't
level,
have put that together like that, but I agree with that.
A lot of child artists you don't get to see them go to
That's
that
a
level.
fact.
They get to a level where they don't grow with you and you just kind of like, man, that shit there ain't it. But, you know, Wayne got the opportunity to like, Wayne seen you in so many different levels, right?
Yeah.
So when you was young, Wayne wasn't cussing. And you was listening to Wayne and you was like, man, I feel him, I like what he doing. Then as he started to evolve, you evolving with Wayne too.
Yeah.
By the time Wayne on the Carter, you a full-fledged man, you think. And he talk like he a full-fledged man. And you like, oh my God. That's like how a person was when Mike was out.
Yeah.
Like they was Jackson 5 when Mike was little and you looking at Mike like, oh my God, how can a kid do that?
Yeah.
And by the time Mike on Thriller, you're a grown-ass man.
Grown.
You feeling like, yeah.
That's good, man. The streets of Michael Jackson. I like that. Listen, bro. Again, you're a phenomenal artist.
Thank you.
You're a phenomenal storyteller. You definitely helped me with some perspectives on today, man, and I appreciate that. You know, it's always good to hear the thoughts of others, and it's always good to surround yourself with gentlemen who are older, maybe like-minded, but then it's also great to be around those who are not like you at all. Like I think Charlemagne the God once said that you know, get more into things that don't necessarily pertain to you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning still to be a more well-rounded person. You know what I mean? I can relate to you a lot, but it's still other like pockets I need to fill in order to learn more about this world, in order to get a better worldview and to better exist in this world. But man, again, real quick, I do want you to look into this camera right here. Let folks know how they can contact you, where they can book you. You know what I'm saying? Where they can find your discography, all the things.
Well, it's kind of short, man. Everything Coke Bumaye, COKEBUMAYE. Tap in with me. Know what?
You dig. Jackson, Mississippi's very own. Y'all know who I am. It's Kimar Cain coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. You're tapped in, wrapped in with season 3 of Mental Shampoo. That's Coke Bumaye. You dig. And we talking about artists and their art. But we want to learn more so about the artist, the person behind the amazing works that they create, produce, and put out into the world. So until next time, man, next episode, you dig. Peace and blessings, love and respect. Be out.
Mental Shampoo is recorded and produced at KD Creative Arts Media Studio in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're interested in taking your video and audio quality to the next level, reach out to the people here at KD Creative Arts Media Studio. If you want to grow and monetize your podcast, this is the place to be. Visit kdcreativearts.com today.